A cover letter is a single-page document which is sent with your resume. It should be brief, as employers or hiring managers rarely have time to waste. Be direct and straightforward. Follow a formal, friendly style. Try to present yourself as a creative, enthusiastic person. A cover letter forms your first interaction with the prospective employer. It is planned like a sales letter where you market yourself. The significance of a cover letter lies in capturing the attention of the employer and make him or her go through your resume. A successful cover letter functions as an interview request by showcasing your abilities, work experience, and qualifications. It should convey your interest and motivation in applying for the job position. Format and conventions of a cover letter. A cover letter should have all the specifications of a formal letter. Information is presented in cover letters as blocks. Each block is separated from the next with a single line space. This makes it easy for the employer to locate different contents at a glance. Cover letters appear more formal and professional when information is presented in different blocks and neatly laid out. Coming to alignment, all blocks are left aligned. This makes it convenient for drafting it. The sequencing of a cover letter. The blocks of information are sequenced in a particular order. The first element in the structure is the sender's address. Provide the complete address of the applicant. It's compulsory to include your contact number and email ID. The email ID should be associated with your name and should appear formal. Making use of funny or vague email IDs will create a bad impression. Email IDs created with nicknames should be strictly avoided. The next element is the date. After giving a line space, you can include the date. In Indian context, we use day, month, year format. International communication prefers a month, day, year format. Providing the name of the month in words instead of figures will help in avoiding confusion. Never make use of superscripts for representing the day of the month. The ideal format is to give the day of the month in figures, the name of the month in words, followed by the year in figures. After leaving a line space, you can add the address of the recipient. It is possible to locate the address of the recipient from the advertisement for the job position. It is usually addressed to a person capable of initiating action upon your request for the job. Very often, it will be the manager, the HR manager, the CEO, or even the registrar. There is no need for adding any punctuation mark anywhere for the inside address. Next is salutation. Start with a professional, friendly greeting that addresses the employer or hiring manager by name. The expressions respected sir, respected madam are not in use now. If you are addressing the person by name, you need to add appropriate title before name, like Dear Mr. Sharma. If you are not sure of the marital status of a woman, you can make use of MS. It stands for both married and unmarried women. If you are not able to identify the hiring manager, it is always safe to make use of the expression Dear Sir / Madam. Different forms of salutation. If the employer's name is Robin Sharma, address him as Dear Mr. Sharma. You are using the last name of that person. If it is Simna Matthew, you can use Dear Miss Matthew or Dear Miss Simna Matthew. That is the complete name or the second name. However, Using the first name of a person for salutation is unacceptable. After leaving a line space, you can add the subject line. It helps the employer to identify at a glance which post you are applying for. Sometimes institutions or companies advertise a number of positions at a time, and the subject line helps in sorting out your application. The subject line stands alone between the salutation and the body of the letter. It is ideal to have a single line of content in uppercase letters. The body of a cover letter. You can limit the body of a cover letter to 3 or 4 paragraphs. Be brief and precise. The opening paragraph specifies the position or job you are applying for. You need to provide details regarding the source of job position. It may be through an advertisement in a newspaper or company's website. It may also be from someone known to you. You can also directly suggest why you want the job by hinting at your education or expertise. Next is body paragraphs. This part of the covering letter explains why you are qualified for the job or position. You will be attaching your resume with the cover letter, so there's no need for mentioning all the details in the cover letter. Specify who you are and what you have done. Briefly mention your educational qualifications and work experience. Keep in mind that you need to highlight particular points relevant to the position you are applying for. Here, an experienced candidate highlights his work experience. He describes how his previous job, experience, skills, and abilities will help in meeting the demands of the new job he is applying for. Entry-level cover letter refers to cover letters from pass-out graduates. The content of an entry-level cover letter will be different from the cover letter of an experienced candidate. They will not be having any work experience to highlight. Here, along with educational qualification, a candidate can highlight some important courses or projects that have enriched and enhanced his or her employability skills. Extracurricular activities which hints at his or her leadership quality can also be added. The closing paragraph. The closing paragraph is a call to action. Suggest that you would like to come for an interview at the employer's convenience. Specify that you have enclosed your resume and other documents required. You should reflect your feeling of confidence and should ultimately thank the employer for spending his or her valuable time reading your cover letter. This much regarding the body of the letter. There is no need for indenting each paragraph. However, a line space between each paragraph will make it look more professional. Next part is complementary clause. The general convention is to use yours truly or yours sincerely. Keep in mind that there is no apostrophe in yours and the second word is not capitalized. Do not make use of any punctuation mark for the complementary clause. It is followed by the signature of the applicant. Never forget to put your signature before sending the letter. Signature appears before the full name of the applicant. The last part of a cover letter is enclosures. Here you can specify the documents attached. If there are more than one document, it should be numbered in the order in which they are attached. Resume and copies of certificates are usually attached with cover letters. Don'ts in a cover letter. Don't sound casual. A cover letter is a formal letter and you should be very careful with the language. Refrain yourself from asking for a favor and don't be unduly humble. Don't boast about yourself. You should not boast about yourself. Instead of asserting that you are qualified for the job or position, you need to provide evidence. Don't use vague or general expression. The information you provide should be precise, and try to make use of numbers or percentage to highlight your achievement. Coming to spelling and grammar, before sending the letter, proofread it for avoiding spelling and grammatical errors. Don't add covering letter as separate attachment in email. If you are emailing your job application, you should not put this cover letter as a separate attachment. Instead, it should be included in the body of an email. The inbox of professionals are very often crowded, and you may fail to grab the attention of your prospective employer. Now you can start drafting cover letters. I wish all of you a fruitful learning experience. Thank you.